For decades, IT service management operated with a rigid, back-office mentality. IT built a service, threw it over the wall, and considered the job done. Success was measured entirely by technical specifications and meeting strict service-level agreements. Success meant the servers were up, even if the business process relying on them was broken. ITIL 4 replaces one-way delivery with a collaborative relationship, value co-creation. Value is now defined from the customer's perspective, measuring the perceived benefit and usefulness of an offering. Consumers actively shape the service. By providing feedback, they ensure the platform adapts to their needs. Facilitating this complex two-way relationship at an enterprise scale requires an integrated operational engine. ITIL 4 calls this engine the Service Value System. To understand exactly how it works, we need to build its architecture from the ground up. Mapping this architectural shift allows us to move from managing technical assets to orchestrating the components of a digital business. Before we construct the core processing engine, the framework requires us to establish the structural environment. Identifying these constraints early prevents the formation of operational silos. This diagram establishes the 4 dimensions of service management. These are the underlying resources and capabilities that must be balanced before any service is designed or operated. The first dimension is organizations and people. This accounts for formal reporting lines, team culture, staffing capacities, and the specific competencies of the personnel doing the work. Next is information and technology. This covers the data utilized during service delivery, along with the technical infrastructure itself, cloud platforms, workflow automation, databases, and system security. The third dimension, partners and suppliers, maps the relationships with external vendors, third-party contracts, and the service integration required to keep operations running. Finally, value streams and processes define the specific workflows, coordination patterns, and control activities necessary to transform inputs into valuable outputs. Ignoring any single dimension creates a critical vulnerability in service delivery. They must remain balanced to support the weight of the engine we are about to place on top. This brings us to the core mechanism itself, the Service Value System, or SBS. This is the overarching structure that takes inputs and converts them into tangible results. On the left side, the system takes in a primary input variable, organizational demand, or a new business opportunity. On the right side, the target output is always value. To govern how inputs travel from left to right, the top layer of the SVS contains the 7 guiding principles. These principles serve as an enduring behavioral compass. They guide decision-making continuously, regardless of shifts in organizational strategy or governance structures. For instance, focus on value ensures every action directly links to stakeholder needs. Start where you are forces teams to observe the current state and leverage existing functional processes rather than discarding entire systems. Similarly, progress iteratively with feedback breaks complex work into manageable parts using minimum viable products. Optimize and automate demands that a process is streamlined first before applying any technological automation. The SVS shell and these principles ensure that every internal activity, whether technical or administrative, aligns strictly with delivering stakeholder value. Inside this SVS shell sits the mechanism that actually processes the demand, the service value chain. Unlike the rigid life cycles of the past, the service value chain functions as a flexible network of interconnected activities. The chain consists of 6 internal nodes: plan, improve, engage, design and transition, obtain or build, and deliver and support. The plan node aligns organizational direction and strategy, while the engage node manages interactions with stakeholders to understand their expectations. Design and transition handles the analysis and development of new services, ensuring they meet specific targets for cost, quality, and time to market. Obtain and build is where the organization acquires or develops the necessary service components, ensuring they meet agreed specifications. Finally, deliver and support manages ongoing live operations and service levels, while the improve node continuously refines the entire process based on operational data. Because these nodes function as a flexible network, different demands take different paths. A minor update might skip the design phase, while a major infrastructure overhaul will engage every node multiple times in a complex sequence. This multi-directional architecture gives modern IT teams the agility to adapt to market changes without breaking their daily operations. The nodes in the value chain represent broad categories of activities. To execute the actual ground-level work, the system uses 34 discrete tools called ITIL management practices. Take incident management. Its objective is to restore normal service operations as rapidly as possible following an unplanned interruption. Contrast that with problem management. While incident management focuses on the immediate fire, problem management investigates why the fire started. It identifies root causes and implements permanent fixes, transforming recurring incidents from reactive crises into solved systemic issues. Then there is change enablement, which manages how modifications to IT systems are assessed for risk and authorized for deployment. ITIL 4 uses the term change enablement to move away from bureaucratic gates. The goal is engineering a process that maximizes successful, rapid rollouts with minimal disruption. These practices, whether general, service, or technical, are the tangible gears that turn the abstract theory of the value chain into measurable business outcomes. Zooming out, we can see the entire architectural model operating as a single cohesive unit. We can now trace the full execution cycle of modern IT service delivery. A raw business opportunity enters the left side of the SVS and is filtered through the 7 guiding principles to ensure alignment with organizational strategy. It hits the service value chain, where it is routed flexibly across nodes and refined by management practices like incident management or change enablement. Throughout this journey, the operation relies on the structural support of the 4 dimensions, ensuring that the personnel, technology, vendors, and workflows are balanced to prevent failure. The process data exits the right side of the system as a refined output, feeding into the value co-creation loop where the business consumer actively engages. This modular system provides the operational logic for every activity within the enterprise. It functions as an engineered operating system that integrates business strategy with technical execution. Mastering this architecture allows modern enterprise systems to scale reliably, even in an era of constant digital disruption. Prioritizing systematic value co-creation positions the IT department as the architectural core of the business itself.